My first question would be what is the purpose of AI Hub in applications?
AI Hub is basically used to centralize all of your resources under one gateway. But with the advent of generative AI solutions, now it has actually transformed into a new use case. When we started off the generative AI journeys, we were not so concerned about the impending costs of such services.
So I'd like to ask what is the security concern with the implementation of AI Hub?
If we want to discuss the security concerns, so personally, I think that there aren't any security concerns in general, because we are using the same infrastructure.
Hello, everyone. This is Shakeel Waqas. I welcome you all to the second podcast of Mobiz. Today, we have Dr. Akber Gardezi with us. He is Regional Technical Director of Mobiz. And I would like to uh, ask Dr. Akbar to introduce us a little bit about himself, and we will continue after it. So, Dr. Akbar can.
Thank you, Shakeel. Uh, Hello, everyone. My name is Akber Gardezi. I'm the Regional Technical Director at Mobiz. So, been with Mobiz for the last 3 odd years. We built the data and AI practice at Mobiz, and for the last 3 years, we've been working on enterprise grade applications, specializing in adoption of generative AI solutions in a secure and scalable manner within large enterprises. So we have a very interesting topic here today that we would like to discuss, and so happy to be here, Shakil. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, the topic we have decided for our discussion today is AI Hub. Uh, before going deeper inside what is AI Hub and the technical questions about AI Hub, I would like to ask Dr. Akbar about to introduce us what is AI Hub, and let's see.
Thank you, Shakil. I think, like most of you, everyone is confused about the whole concept of AI Hub. And I think before we get into more technical details, I think we should understand what is the concept of AI Hub, or what is an AI Hub in general, because as the name implies, it's a hub for AI based applications. And it's not a new concept. Like, the concept of hub is not a new concept. It's essentially like an API gateway where it enables multiple applications to communicate together, and it is widely has been widely used by enterprises for the last many years. But with the advent of generative AI solutions, now it has actually transformed into a new use case, and that is something that we are going to discuss today: how AI hubs are being developed on APIM gateways to facilitate adoption of generative AI solutions into large enterprises.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Akbar, for telling us about AI Hub. So, my first question would be what is the purpose of AI Hub in applications?
That's an interesting question, because when we talk about AI Hub and we see the main purpose of AI Hub, so as I've mentioned, AI Hub is basically used to centralize all of your resources under one gateway. So when I say a gateway, so nowadays all the AI implementation that is happening, and let me be clear, so this is agnostic across multiple platforms. You can have Azure, you can have AWS, you can have GCP, but the thing is, all of these platforms have different AI services that are running. So if we take the example of Azure, so we have Azure OpenAI services, but within Azure OpenAI services, there are multiple other services that are running. There could be multiple LLMs, multiple models that are running. There could be multiple cognitive services that are being used. Now, when we are using all of these services, the problem is that when each of these services is individually connected to the backbone, to the backend, that entails that you have to make certain calls, you have to send tokens, you have to receive tokens, you have to send API calls, you receive API calls, and all of this is a recursive process that has some cost associated to it. Now, what if we have a centralized hub that can manage all of that for you? And this is the sort of thinking that's been developing within the enterprises, because when we started off the generative AI journeys, we were not so concerned about the impending costs of such services. But over the last couple of years, most organizations have started to realize that there is a large cost associated with this, costs which we can optimize, costs which can be reduced if these requests are managed properly. And hence comes the concept of AI Hub. And this is something, it's an evolving concept. There are multiple strategies, multiple frameworks that are evolving around it. We will discuss some of those today. But the main concept, as you just asked, that how AI Hub, or what is the main purpose of the AI Hub. So, in short, the main purpose of AI Hub is to better manage and optimize the AI services or generative AI services traffic within an enterprise environment, and spanning over multiple applications. So that's the main purpose of AI Hub.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Akbar, for telling us about using AI Hub in optimization for enterprises. So I'd like to ask, can you elaborate this, or can you tell us the key benefits uh, of it?
Okay. So when we say benefits, there are a lot of benefits of using an AI hub in your implementation. So I think if we need to pinpoint the key benefit would be obviously scalability, because you can better scale your infrastructure, you can better scale the usability of your applications. So the second benefit would be optimization from the perspective of load balancing. So when we say load balancing, it means that number of requests coming from an application, how better you can balance them in terms of cost from an LLM perspective, from an AI service perspective. So that's load balancing. So the third benefit could be rate limiting or throttling. So when I say rate limiting, what that means is that minimizing the number of requests at a certain time to a certain LLM, or minimizing the counts or the requests to a certain service that is more expensive as compared to a service that is cheaper. Throttling means that limiting the number of requests that can go, so that you don't run into timeout errors, because with every AI implementation, you have the issue of transactions per second, how you stay within that limit. So that's one aspect of it. So the third aspect is geo limiting, that allowing certain requests from a certain geographical region, or sending certain requests to a certain geographical region. So both of these can play a major role. And I think the last benefit from the perspective of optimization could be the provisioning of compute in terms of provisioned throughputs units, because nowadays LLMs are all PTU based. Depending upon which region you would have the most optimal performance from an LLM perspective, you can use and divert the traffic to that certain region. Or you can implement a circuit breaker, like you can control cost by saying that if a certain application has achieved a certain limit, we should cut it off from the provision units and divert the traffic to pay as you go cheaper models. So these are some of the key benefits that you can achieve when you are using an AI hub.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, Dr. Akbar, can you tell us how does AI Hub integrate with existing IT infrastructure?
So as I mentioned earlier on, that so the concept of AI Hub, it's built upon an API gateway. So the API gateways are agnostic to any cloud platform, because In Azure, you have the APIM gateway that can be modeled uh, to be used as an AI hub with a certain implementation. So you all you would require is a function app which is running as an orchestrator connected to your APIM gateway, and inbuilt features offered by Azure within the APIM gateway can then play the role of offering different benefits, and will delve deeper into those. In AWS, you have similar functionality that can be used, but in Azure, you can have it linked to Azure OpenAI services. You can have it linked to multiple other cognitive services. Similarly, in AWS, you can have it linked to Bedrock or SageMaker or any other like AI services that are native to AWS. So, so in terms of integration, so there is no it's not like just to make it clear over here that it's not a third party product that you are embedding into your existing system. So it's like a framework that we are implementing within your existing infrastructure using the same components that are already native to your existing infrastructure. For example, as I just mentioned, that in Azure you have the APIM gateway that can be modeled into the concept of AI hub, and then in AWS you have the API gateway that can be used for a similar functionality. So it's more on the lines of how you follow the standard frameworks. So Azure has quite comprehensive frameworks and they are open source. Similar concepts exist in AWS as well, and we integrate them quite easily by following the best practices, using the features that are inbuilt into these platforms. So there is no aftermarket or third party integration into your existing infrastructure. So it's quite easy. So the simple answer is that it's not only quite easy, it is already inbuilt. All you need to do is to know the right framework and how to implement it. And this is something that we do on a daily basis here at Mobiz.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Akbar, for explanation. It's going very interesting, and we are moving towards my last question of this podcast. So, I'd like to ask, what is the security concern with the implementation of AI Hub?
Hmm. So if we want to discuss the security concerns, so personally, I think that there aren't any security concerns in general because we are using the same infrastructure. So any security implications that may be, they would already be handled by your network and infrastructure teams. But again, like since there are multiple features that are being implemented, so let's say we are routing the traffic to different regions. So you may have a service that is running in East US2 from a cloud infrastructure perspective, and then you are routing or diverting traffic to West US or West Europe or any other region within the cloud. So each region may have different security policies implemented. So when we are routing and diverting traffic or load balancing or circuit breaking, then there could be the implication that if you are moving from a more secure region to a less secure region, so those are some of the concerns. Data sovereignty is could be one of the concerns, that if your data residency requirements dictate that you need to stay within certain regions. So when you are implementing an AI hub, it is imperative that you only select the regions which are mandated by the security and the compliance policies native to your enterprise. So those are some of the things that are at the configuration level of the AI hub, and these should be taken very seriously. Apart from that, like when you are routing different traffics, so the firewalls that exist within your organizations, they need to be configured accordingly as well. Certain VNets and pairings need to be added. But if you are, and another interesting concept for an AI hub is that if you are running LLMs on prem, and those are also part of the failover plan. So like you have one LLM in cloud region A, another LLM in cloud region B, but then you also have like a failover LLM deployed on premises within your organization. So also there is a security concern that needs to be addressed from the firewall perspective, that if you at a certain instance divert traffic to an on-prem LLM, so those security policies should be in place, the firewall policies should be in place. So that is something that needs to be tackled very carefully, and but it is completely manageable, and it is not something that could cause a major security breach as long as the proper security policies are in place.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Akbar. It was an interesting discussion. So, wrapping up this podcast, I'd like to uh, ask you if you can summarize this podcast, what we have discussed today.
Okay, thank you. So, for the benefit of your viewers, Shakeel, what I would like to just add at the end. So, today, what we discussed the concept of AI Hub and how it is becoming critical for large enterprises to be adopting this concept, not only from the perspective of cost, but also from the perspective of traffic management, optimization, load balancing, scalability of your infrastructure, availability of your infrastructure in multiple regions, in geolocations, and thirdly, from the perspective of having multiple failovers, and also cutoffs and cutovers, and not only that, having external applications connectivity as well. So the AI Hub framework is an evolving framework. There is a lot of R&D going on this topic, and every day we are experimenting new concepts, new features, like multi-cloud AI hubs, uni-cloud AI hubs, and lastly, hybrid AI hubs, which have multiple clouds but on-prem connectivity as well. So, and this is a topic that we will keep on discussing in the other sessions as well, because as I've said, that it is becoming quite critical for large organizations to be adopting this framework. So, thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for watching this video. Um, Stay tuned for our next podcast showcasing the innovative solutions we will implementing in Mobiz. Thank you.